Greetings, beloved brothers and sisters. You may wonder at times why so many people over the ages have spoken about the value of being present, of being conscious, of being in the moment. The simple answer is that that is the only truth. That is really the only reality. And that to be anywhere else but in the moment, or believe that you can be other than where you are in the moment, is folly. It is the province of the ego. The ego would love to have you believe that it is with you all the time, that it is present in the moment, but it isn't. You may have noticed that if you've ever been in a near miss in a car accident or had to do something suddenly to prevent something bad from happening, right in that moment, there is no ego. Now, a few seconds later, the ego arrives, acting as if it was there for the whole thing, with all kinds of, I can't believe this. Wow, that was amazing. Or that was scary. But if you really look at the experience, you'll realize that at the moment, when you really needed to take action to avert a disaster, there was no ego. It was just you. The commentary that comes right afterwards is just the ego grandstanding, trying to convince you that it really saw what happened. It didn't. It doesn't have that ability. So the ego will always want you to think about the past and ruminate about the future, because it does not live in the present. It has no provenance. And what you'll find is that your experience moment to moment is quite pure. This is where peace lives. This is where love resides. And much of the commentary will often be based on the experience of love that you had in the moment, and then trying to make a concept or a belief out of that. This will happen many, many, many times in your life. There was a time many years ago when a clearing was reached in the United States where young people pushed away from their parents' teachings and open to the possibility that they could just love everybody. This was in the late 1960s, early 1970s. And it was a genuine experience of possibility where you could actually be friendly with strangers and trust people if you were hitchhiking. And people would share their marijuana with you and share their food. And it was a little society of friendly, kind, peace-loving children who pushed away from the dogma that they were raised with and broke into this clearing of love. I think it reached its height in the summer of love. But like all things, if you aren't staying in the moment, then the ego co-opts the experience and makes a belief and a concept about it. One of the concepts was As long as a person was under 30 years of age and had long hair, they could be trusted. But that soon proved not to be true. Then there was another period where people were beginning to learn how to meditate. And wise men and women from the East, South Asia, came over and were teaching people how to meditate. And there was a genuine experience, very profound experience of meditation, being in the moment, being present, being still, that generated a wonderful experience of love and connection and peace that was totally real. Once the ego comes in, however, it wants to make a concept out of it. And very often people will have this thought, gee, wouldn't it be great if everybody meditated? Or, gee, wouldn't it be great if everybody had long hair? Or wouldn't it be great if other people could follow this guru and have this fantastic experience that I'm having, just being in his presence? And this is the origin of proselytizing and Bible thumping and many things that move off of the experience in the moment. It's understandable for safety reasons that you want to be around people who think as you do, believe as you do, practice as you do. There's some safety and comfort in that, but there's also fear in it. It reinforces fear of the other. It actually reinforces the separation that was not part of your original experience of being in the moment. So if you have the thought, wouldn't it be great if, and then you're imagining a community where everybody read the Bible, or everybody followed Allah, or everybody was of the same belief as you. And that sounds like it would be heaven, but it really isn't. And it's also not necessary. If you want a community where everyone is loving and everyone is peaceful and people share interests and they help each other, then just do that now. Don't wait for the word to spread. Don't take it upon yourself to convert people, to get people to see things the way you see them, because the way you see them started from an experience, and that experience is the only thing that enrolls others. Even though the words can be fetching, they're laced with fear. In its extreme, you get slogans like, support mental health or I'll kill you. That was a funny bumper sticker many years ago. Support mental health or I'll kill you. It's the idea of be the way I think mental health should be, or there'll be terrible consequences, which is the antithesis of mental health. In the same way, you can see how strong the divide is between people who believe one way and people who believe another way. And ultimately, it leads to war, or it leads to the Crusades, or it leads to tremendous force being put upon people who don't believe the way you believe. There's an easy solution. There's a simple solution. And I recommend that you practice it right away. And that is, have the experience yourself right now of being conscious of this moment, and let that spread the word. Let who you're being enroll people, not what you're saying, not what you're doing, not how it looks, not on the strength of your beliefs and the rightness of your argument and the veracity of your scripture, but rather live as the Christ. Be the Christ that you are now in this moment. And your being will enroll everyone. And you will see that you already live in a community where everyone is in love, because that's all you'll see. You won't need to convert people. You won't need to fear people who don't see things the way you do, because this moment includes all of them. And you will see yourself in all of them and love them all. I know there are a million ways to say this, but there is such beauty and profundity and simplicity in just being here now. I love you very much, and I'll speak with you again soon.